Today we're going to be doing a roof rack on an 06 Touareg. It's going to be a Eurowise V2 rack with light bar. This is the hardware that's included. You got 2 bags. This one I'm assuming is going to be for the side panels, and this is going to be for the actual rack that attaches to the roof. And then you have some hardware for the light bar. The tools needed for this install are going to be a 13 socket, deep and small one, and then an 18 deep with an extension. This is how it's going to go together. You have your side panel that is going to bolt to the car. You have some bolts with a 13 mil nut on there. You bolt it together like that. And that's just kind of the beginning phases of this. There's 3 more rails that still need to go on here. Once you have 3 of these bolted together, if you're doing it by yourself, you'll be able to lift them up in the air. You're gonna install the big fat bolts in your railing, move them as far forward as you can, and then with the rears, put them as far back as you can. And then you're gonna set it up, and those bolts are gonna fit in these side panels. Once you set the rack on, you're gonna take the 18 mil nuts, and for right now I just loosely place them on. I'm gonna finish adding the crossbars, and then the side panel is gonna go on with the front fairing, and then I'm gonna tighten everything up. So next step is gonna be getting the side panel on for the lower rack. The way that goes on, there's a bolt, a bushing, and a nut. And basically the bushing goes between this plate and the rack, causing it to be spaced out. And then you also have your wind fairing, and that's just 2 bolts, same thing like you did originally with the original top rack. Right now everything's just kind of snug. I'm gonna move it around to put it in a place I like it, and then tighten everything down. So once you have everything mounted to the side, the next thing is gonna be squaring it up to the car. I used the roof rack line, or roof rail lines on both sides, and I lined the Eurowise rack up with those lines and tightened the front, and then that's gonna make it square all around. And then you're basically just gonna go around and just tighten all the hardware. Finally, the last step is gonna be bolting on the light bar. Pretty self-explanatory. Time-wise, this took about 2 hours by myself with a couple tools and nothing crazy. Next time, I would probably build everything on the ground and then just have another person help you lift it up onto the roof, instead of doing it the light way on the ground and then putting it on the roof and throwing all the bits and pieces on there. This is going to be about a week later. I was cleaning up the boxes that these came in, and I guess I forgot to install the little trim for the sunroof. And as you can see, if you have it butted up against the window without that trim, you're going to scratch your roof on that. So that's one thing I added. Make sure you don't forget that to keep your roof from getting scratched. This is the final product. Just got to run some wiring to the to a switch panel that I have, and it'll be all done.